Hey, ladies and gentlemen all over the world, how you doing? This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast for Monday. Oh my God, it's Monday already. Holy crap. The 30th of March, 2015. How y'all doing? Are you happening? Are you rocking? It's Monday. I know. You haven't had your coffee yet if you're up in the morning, or you haven't had your little nightly nightcap in the evening. So, I want to say hello and greetings from FEMA Region 9 in the United States of America, specifically in the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada. A lot of things happening today, a lot of things happening over the weekend, a lot of people pissed off, and a lot of propaganda. I would say that about 65% of all the news that I've seen since Friday is nothing more than active propaganda. I say active because, well, most of it is just conjecture, false rumors, you name it. That's all it is. I say active in the sense that they're active in putting out all this garbage so everybody else on their side of the aisle and, whoever supports them, speaking of the government in regards to that, will believe them and hold on to those views and ideals and tell all the rest of us constitutionalists and patriots to go to hell. Well, I got word for them today. I got words for them today. I got several words for them today. I have 3 of them right now that I want to tell this government and all these rules and regulations that they have, specifically in homeowners associations and housing authorities and you name it, anything that is funded and run and supported by federal government. I want to tell them these 3 words right now. Kiss my ass. And the bottom line, folks, because when you break it right down and you get right down to it, you get right down to the nitty-gritty where the rubber meets the road. Can I use any more metaphors? This government is completely out of control. The United States government is completely out of control, has always been out of control, will always be out of control until or unless the American people get sick and tired enough to stand up and to say, this ain't happening no more. But here's the thing. The United States of America and the people here used to have a backbone, used to be able to stand up in a patriotic manner, put their hand over their heart, pledge allegiance to the flag and all that, with the fireworks blaring in the back, and we were the greatest nation in the world until, I would say until someone found out that Washington, D.C. was not part of the United States. What? Yeah, they found out it was a corporation. And guess what? The corporation took over. The corptocracy is now in full swing in the United States. And in the last 8, 10, 12 years, it has now gone from the people interacting with the government to make things happen to having the federal government and the corporations together in a very fascist way to make this country the worst country on the face of the planet. So there you go, folks. That's how I started out my day this morning. How are you? Email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Go to my website, WayneSPierce.com. Check that out and support the American Liberty Radio Network. And I shall return right after this. Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz is your home for all the independent music and movies you need. For more information, go to radiorocktheblitz.blogspot.com. This is the American Liberty Radio Network. A Day in the Life. New West Theater, in association with Eastland Radio Theater, presents A Day in the Life. Day in the Life is a series that reveals the very heart of the people and their daily lives. Each person has a story to tell. Each story is a snapshot of what people are going through or have seen at the time. It is truly a day in the life. Hey, folks, how you doing? This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast right here on the American Liberty Radio Network on Spreaker.com. You can go to my website, WayneSPierce.com. Check that out as well. Support American Liberty Radio Network any way you can, even if you share the link. It's okay. But I do need some help getting the network to the next level. So if you can contribute financially in any way whatsoever, I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. So anyway, go to the store on the website, by the way. There is a pull-down menu where you will see the corner store. There's some things there you might like, including my book, Many Directions of Man. Go check that one out as well. Anyway, onward and upward on this 30th of March, 2015. I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, right here for your Monday. Hello, everybody across the globe listening to this show. As I always like to say, at the end of this show, I'm going to say it in the beginning as well, and that is freedom is the road, and liberty is the road, and freedom is the goal. Now, why do I say that? It's real simple. The road you're on is the road you're on. Because of your environment that you grew up in, you walk that road. That is what you do because, as you have been lied to for many, many years, that's the way it's been done for years. It's the biggest lie in the whole freaking world. Just because you see someone jumping off a bridge every year, do you think you have to do it too? Do you think that if you went to a certain school because of prestige or because of the popularity of your friends, do you think you really have to go there? Are you looking to, quote-unquote, fit in? Well, stop playing by everybody else's rules and start looking at yourself and asking yourself just what it is you want. That's on the road of liberty. The freedom is a result of that. You can do whatever you want, live wherever you want, travel wherever you want, acquire as much wealth as you want or not, or live in a small village somewhere in the jungle with missionaries coming by, and you guys can sit down and chit-chat for a while, and you can feed them, and if that makes you feel good too, then hey, you're good. You're really good. You do things out of your passion, you do things to feed the soul, and you do things to make a living. But your environment is what teaches you about all of that. And if you find something that innately feels bad or looks bad, turn away from it, go elsewhere. You have the freedom to do that. And if you look at something and say, you know what, that's pretty cool, I'm going to check that out, then do that. You have the freedom to do that. You know, if you're here in America and you've retired at the age of 65, but you still want to work, you have the freedom to do that. If you want to take your grandkids fishing, you have the freedom to do that. Liberty is the goal. Liberty is the road, and freedom is the goal. And that's true overall with all of humanity. All of humanity. Each individual makes up a society, makes up a culture, decides within themselves what can and cannot be done, certain rules and regulations, and most of them started out to be common sense rules. You know, leave me alone and don't take my stuff. That's pretty common sense to me. But if you're not going to leave me alone, and if you do attempt to take my stuff, I have a God-given right to protect my stuff and myself and my family. Let's extrapolate on that. I have a right to take care of my neighborhood, my city, my state, my county, to do everything I can to survive and to help others survive. And that's what you're doing, and you have a freedom to do that. Because you understand the principles of liberty. Okay? So, enough of me preaching. I'll get off of my pulpit now. Go from there. Email me, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. If you have any questions whatsoever, hey, ask me, because you'll never know if you don't ask. Okay, no question is off limits. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. I mean, it's that simple, folks. Anyway, let's check out some stuff, shall we? Let's check out some articles. Let's go to Infowars.com. I saw an article earlier today up there that, or from there, that kind of piqued my interest. So let me go see if I can find it. They may have sent it down through the featured stories archive. So let's go here. Here it is. I wanted to mention this, and I wanted to discuss this. There's always something that the government, no matter what it is, no matter if it's in Australia or United States or Denmark or Netherlands or, whatever. Doesn't matter, Pakistan, the whole 9 yards. The global elites pick out certain spots to try out certain things. And what happens is they involve you and I. What am I talking about? Well, let me go to a Zero Hedge article that's up on Infowars.com. Australia to start taxing bank deposits. Neither central banks nor government care about, quote-unquote, a lot of people. Up until now, the world's descent into NIRPY twilight, NIRPY twilight of flat currency was a function of failing monetary policy around the globe. A central bank, after desperate central bank, implemented negative and even more negative, in the case of Denmark, some 4 times rapid succession rates, hoping to make savings so prohibitive consumers would have no choice but to spend the fruits of their labor, or better yet, take out massive loans which they would never be able to repay. However, nobody said it was only the central banks who could be the executioners of the world's saver class. Let me read that. See, this is important. Let me go back and let me take this sentence and torpedo this sentence into your cranium. However, nobody said it was only central banks who could be the executioners of the world's saver class. Governments are perfectly capable too, such as Australia's government. According to Australia's ABC News, the, quote, federal government looks set to introduce a tax on bank deposits in the May budget. That's unquote as well. Ironically, the idea of a bank deposit tax was raised by Labor in 2013 and criticized by Tony Abbott at the time. Much has changed in 2 years, and as ABC reports, Assistant Treasurer Josh Frydenberg has indicated an announcement on the new tax could be made before the budget. And just think about that, fellow Australians. I say fellow, I'm using that word in quotes. I know somebody from Australia. Mr. Frydenberg is a member of the government's Expenditure Review Committee, but has refused to provide any details. Quote, any announcements or decisions around this proposed policy would be, which we discussed at the last election, will be made in the lead up or on budget night, unquote, he said. Speaking at a Victorian Liberal State Council meeting, Mr. Abbott has repeated his budget message focusing on families and small businesses. Quote, there will be tough decisions in this year's budget, as there must be, but there will also be good news, unquote. For the banks and creditors, yes. For anyone who is still naive enough to save money in the hopes of deferring purchases for the future, not so much. Quote, the bank industry has raised concerns about a deposit tax, saying it will have to pass the cost back on to customers. Steve Munchenberg from the Australian Bankers Association said it would be a damaging move for the government. Quote, it's going to make it harder for banks to raise deposits, which are an important way to funding banks, and therefore for us to fund the economy, unquote, he said, and quote, and we also oppose it because particularly at this point in time with low interest rates, a lot of people are relying on their savings for their incomes, are already seeing very low returns, and this will actually mean they get even less money, unquote. I'm going to put this on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, so you can take a gander at the rest of that article. I told you before, folks, banks charge you to hold your money, and then they take that money, they take your money, even the overdraft charges, they shove it into their little coffer, and they give it out to other banks. Okay. That's the thing that they do. They loan it out to other banks, they loan it out to other institutions, they loan your money out. Okay. And if their investments pay off in the positive, they don't give you back any of that money. They don't share with you. They don't share with you the profits. Okay? They don't. Now, of course, some accounts here in America specifically, some accounts, if you have what's called direct deposit, you don't get charged that monthly fee. But you have to watch your account because if you get an overdraft, which hopefully you don't, you got to pay additional fees for that. Unless you have a savings account with a whole bunch of money in it, then of course you're protected. But They take that money and they loan it out and invest it in other companies or organizations, and those companies make money, make a profit. The bank gets paid, you get squat. It's all a rigged system, folks. And guess what? It's rigged against you, okay? Me and my coffee this morning. Had trouble sleeping. I'm up and about, and, well, I'm here. I think Bibi, Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, has got his head out of his butt just a little bit to figure out this. Israeli PM, Israeli Prime Minister, lashes out as Iran nuclear talks intensify. This is from American Free Press. From Lausanne, I think it is. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu issued a dire warning Sunday about a possible nuclear accord with Iran as talks in Switzerland towards the outline of a deal intensified days before a deadline. Quote, the dangerous accord which is being negotiated in Lausanne confirms our concerns, and even worse, Netanyahu said in remarks broadcast on public radio. He said the, quote, Iran-Lausanne Yemen access, unquote, was, quote, dangerous for all humanity, unquote. And that, combined with Tehran's regional influence, a nuclear deal could allow Iran to, quote, unquote, conquer the Middle East. Israel, widely assumed to have nuclear weapons itself, is concerned that a deal that 6 powers are trying to agree the contours of by midnight on March 31st will fail to stop Iran from getting the bomb. Iran hit hard by international sanctions, denies wanting nuclear weapons, and insists its atomic program is purely for peaceful purposes. Israel, not Iran, is the real regional danger, Tehran says. Okay? Put that on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page so you can check that out. I got a rant coming on the blog section of my website at WayneSPierce.com. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. Your head's going to explode, okay? I feel that there are certain things in society that people have to understand just through common sense, not through a law, not through a policy, not through a regulation, but just common sense. I mean, seriously. So that's one of the things I'm going to talk about in my blog today. And I really understand, as I'm typing away here, I really understand a person's view when they say, well, you can't do this and you can't do that. I understand that. I just feel that common sense has been, like, thrown out the door in most cases. Okay? I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. I seem to have... I don't know if it's me, folks. Help me understand. Help me understand. Did common sense get thrown out the door? That's what I want to know. Did common sense, just the knowing that something isn't right and not doing it, okay? You know it's wrong to steal from your neighbor, and yet somebody steals from you. This kind of thing. They know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. Your neighbor knows it's wrong, but somebody did it anyway. Housing authorities and homeowners associations are completely and absolutely wrong. Casinos are absolutely wrong. I'll talk about that. The fees and regulations and the housing authorities and the homeowners associations and also the casinos with their allowing smoking in their place of business and all this, that, and the other thing. Oh, do I got a rant for you? Those are the two subjects I'm going to talk about in my rant. But let's get back to some of the news here. Now, how many times have people told you, how many times have people told you they're watching you, man, they know what you're doing? Well, I've told you that because they're surveilling you from day one. Okay? Now, if you go, and I'll put the video back up on the Wayne S. Spear Show Facebook page, but there's a YouTube video that is out. And it's been out for a few years now. It hasn't been debunked. People have tried and they went, whoops, can't do that. I know in some cases, in some places around the world, it's not shown, and I know that some of my videos are not even shown, okay? So, I mean, it's like, it's blocked. I'm like, what? So, go search this out on YouTube. Facebook CIA connection, and you'll see that connection. It's a little 5-minute video, 6-minute video, whatever it is. And you'll be surprised. Now, also, go search this out. Google CIA Facebook connection. Okay? Search that one out. Now, the reason why I ask you to go search these out is because last night I was on my tablet. And I got into this thing, and if you're on an Android-operated tablet, you can go into S-Voice. You go there, and you go searching around, whatever, and you just click on that, and it'll, you'll figure it out and configure it to how you like it. But when you hit that S-Voice, you can talk to it. It's artificial intelligence, and you can talk to it. Now, last night I said that I was looking for the CIA Internet Protocol address. That's what you can talk to your tablet. It'll do searches, it'll do functions, it'll, whatever. So I asked about that. I said something to the effect like search for or take me to the CIA Internet Protocol address. The response from my little tablet was Wi-Fi is on. Okay? I got a video up on Facebook. I can go find my video and put it up on the Wayne S. Spear Show and show you exactly what happened and show you what's there. Now, I don't want to hear it anymore. Anybody that tells me, oh, CIA doesn't have that, and Facebook's a private company, and shut up. I don't want to hear it anymore. You people are wrong. So I'm not going to talk to you people anymore because you people are wrong, and I don't want to deal with your freaking lack of intelligence. So I'm going to talk to the people that know this stuff, that can actually go and really help people understand what's going on as well as I can, but, if not better. But think about it. Think about it. You can also do it on your iPhone. You can also do it on your Samsung Galaxy phones, which are Android operated. Think about it, folks. We're being surveilled, and you don't give a crap. I got nothing to hide. It's not about that, jackass. It's about the fact that they're going to control everything you do, what you buy, how you buy it, where you go, who you talk to, and a whole bunch of other things. But I'll be back shortly after this message. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, even if you disagree with me, burden of proof is on you. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. Tune in to Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz, Monday through Friday, and listen to Tom Slick and the Morning Brew, playing indie music from around the world. That's The Morning Brew with your host Tom Slick on Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz.
Who are these people, and where did they come from? Zombie versus Shark. Zombie versus Shark. .podbean.com.
This is the American Liberty Radio Network. New West Theater, Reno, Nevada is looking for you. If you're an actor or an actress in the Reno, Sparks, Carson City area, please contact New West Theater at newwesttheater@usa.com. New West Theater at usa.com. Go to newwesttheater.weebly.com for more information. Eastland Radio Theater presents Ace in the Hole. The scanners aren't showing anything. I know that ship is out here somewhere. If I was a betting man, I would have to say I would be off this base before your security knew I was even here. If I were you, I wouldn't trust someone with a blaster pointed at their back. Another day, another few thousand credits for me. Not a bad day, if I may say so myself. Not a bad day at all. EastlandRadioTheater.weebly.com. Are you an actor looking for a place to promote your work? Do you do voiceover work and want others to hear what you do? Go to Eastland Entertainment and get your work seen and heard. Eastland Entertainment is your one-stop shop in the Reno, Nevada area for all of your entertainment needs. Eastland Entertainment will promote your work for you. Eastland Entertainment also produces original short films and radio plays through Eastland Radio Films. For more information, contact them at eastlandentertainment@usa.com or go to the Eastland Radio Films website at eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/eastlandfilms. That's eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/eastlandfilms. A Day in the Life. New West Theater, in association with Eastland Radio Theater, presents A Day in the Life. Day in the Life is a series that reveals the very heart of the people and their daily lives. Each person has a story to tell. Each story is a snapshot of what people are going through or have seen at the time. It is truly a day in the life. Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome back to the Rain Spear Show podcast right here with the 30th of March, 2015. Are you doing good? Because, we should all be doing really well, right? I mean, according to some of the analysts out there, some of the economic analysts out there paid for by the government telling us the propaganda bullcrap that they're telling us, oh, yes, the economy's good. Yes, housing sales are slumped a little bit because this is the season to not to buy. And, yeah, you've heard all the bullcrap, right? You know. You know how bad it is in your neighborhood. You know how terrible it is in your city, don't you? Well, let me ask you a question. Why are you putting up with this crap? Now, I'm not talking about anybody in Pakistan or the Netherlands or any other country this show has listened to, because you guys got your own problems and you're facing them the best way you know how, and you're solving the problems the best way you know how. I applaud you. Okay, cool. You're doing what you're doing. I'm totally in support of humanity being free, and groups of people coming together and make, things positive for where you live, So, seriously. So, but in America specifically, in the United States specifically, our economy is shot. Okay? I don't give a crap who you talk to. The economy is in the toilet. I don't care if you listen to Max Kaiser or Gerald Celente. They're both telling you that if we don't get a handle on most of the things causing inflation, it's going to collapse. And they have even said that no matter what we do, it's going to collapse. Okay? It's going to go to hell in a handbasket pretty damn quick. Have you stacked up a bunch of dominoes, stacked them up, put them next to one, and then pushed on one of them, and they just take off? Yeah, that's exactly what this economy is going to do. And you know what? People are going to be watching it. And the people trying to control the economy are hoping that their controls that are in place, that they've put in place, is not that it's not going to be as bad. But yeah, when your national government paid for economists come out and tell you that the economy's good, think again. Okay. Let me go here from New York Post, from Kyle Smith, over in the news section. Okay. Google controls what we buy, the news we read, and Obama's policies. Well, Facebook is doing the same thing. Facebook is going to start eliminating certain eliminating. No, I'm not just saying blocking. You may be able to see it, but nobody else could. They're going to eliminate all things that are patriotic, constitutional. Anybody looking at talking about anybody that posts anything negative about Obama, about Russia, about immigration, about Facebook's going to shut you down. Oh, you may be able to see it. Your friends that you have on a limited basis on Facebook may be able to see your post, but nobody else will. Okay. All right. So I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just laying it out there. Thing that you have to remember is you're not in control. If we were to walk up to Mark Zuckerberg, 10 or 15 of us, and kick his ass and tell him get away from Soros and all those bunches, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't even get 5 feet towards Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. Okay? I'm sure of it. NewYorkPost.com. Kyle Smith writes, big giant headline says, Google controls what we buy, the news we read, and Obama's politics. Now, he's going into the future, and he's talking about it's 2020. The New England Patriots, winners of 6 straight Super Bowls, are having yet another routine meeting with the commissioner's office. Deputy NFL Commissioner Tom Brady and his chief staff, Rob Gronkowski, a rule change that forgives the Patriots for illegally taping other teams and deflating football over the preceding years. Meanwhile, members of the Patriots continue to happily contribute funding for the commissioner's new 45-room castle in the Turks and Caicos, and Bill Belichick agrees to continue coaching the commissioner's 12-year-old son in Pop Warner football. Would that bother anyone? Because the above is pretty much going on today, only the team is called Google and the commissioner is the President of the United States. Sure, since we're talking about politics and giving and taking of favors works in a slightly more indirect way. Excuse me, but only slightly. As Michael Kinsley used to say, the scandal about corruption in Washington is not the stuff that's illegal, but the stuff that's legal. A former Google officer and the president's chief technology advisor, a former Google officer, that's what I meant to say, is the president's chief technology advisor. Google employees contributed more to the President Obama's re-election than did employees of any other company except Microsoft. Google lobbyists met with Obama White House officials 230 times. By comparison, lobbyists from rival Comcast have been admitted to the inner sanctum a mere 20 or so times in the same period. Oh, and on election night 2012, guess where Google executive chairman Eric Schmidt was? Working for the president in the president's campaign office on a voter turnout system designed to help the president get reelected. Told you it was rigged, folks. The whole system is rigged. Bring it down now. Quote, on election night, Schmidt was in our boiler room in Chicago, unquote. Obama Lieutenant David Plouffe told Bloomberg News in a story that revealed that for the campaign, Schmidt, quote, helped recruit talent, choose technology, and coach the campaign manager Jim Messina on the finer points of leading a large organization, unquote. Schmidt was especially fond of a madcap corner of the Obama campaign office known as, quote-unquote, the Cave, where at 4:30 every day, staffers would dance madly under a disco ball to the tune of a mashup of Psy's Gangnam Style and an automated campaign phone call made to prospective voters. Favors begat favors, and hey, presto, the FTC in 2012 ignored the recommendation of its own staffers, which accused Google of abusive trade practices for burying competitors in their search results and recommended a lawsuit. Instead, the FTC dropped its inquiry. Google enjoys 67% market share, 80% in mobile, no biggie, declared the FTC. Google lobbyists have been pushing for implementation of quote-unquote net neutrality regulations, particularly a quote-unquote Title II provision, which would benefit Google. President Obama helpfully came out in support of the plan, including Title II, which was slightly embarrassing because Obama's FCC chair, Tom Wheeler, had favored a different approach. Wheeler promptly reversed course and backed the Obama-Google plan. Right before the FCC report was due, but before it was made public, the FCC pulled another odd reversal, removing 15 pages of policy Google apparently found out about but didn't like. It's rigged, folks. It's all rigged, every last bit of it. Every person in the government is corrupt. Continuing, FCC Commissioner Ajit Pai said that the changes came about, quote, after a last-minute submission from a major California-based company, unquote. I wonder which company he's talking about. In-N-Out Burger? It's not like Google is ungrateful for all of this special attention. When the newly launched Obamacare website was plagued by evil spirits, guess which company was sent in to fix it? Google's proton packs helped kill off the Obama site's goblins, but the country got slimed. Still, all of this is easily forgiven compared to what's coming next. Political filtered information. Can you say fairness doctrine, folks? I'm just editorializing here, but go search startpage.com, fairness doctrine, and then look this net neutrality thing up and compare the two. Chinese-style internet coming to a neighborhood near you. Continuing, Google says that in the future, its determinations about what is true and what is untrue will play a role in how search engine rankings are configured, if I can speak. Google has the power to bump an article it doesn't like off the table and under the rug. Even moving information off of the first page of search results would effectively neutralize it. According to a 2013 study, 91.5% of Google's search users click through on the first page result. To put it mildly, your idea of whether Fox News or MSNBC is more reliable purveyor reliable purveyor of truth might differ substantially from your neighbors. Google's idea of ranking results based on truth is an excellent one that it should implement just as soon as it comes up with an absolutely unbiased and objective system for determining truth. Now, the writer of this article here says, I'm not sure the company whose employees rank second in all of the corporate Americas in campaign donations to Obama can be termed neutral. I'm not sure the nation's most impartial arbiter is a guy who partied to the sounds of an Obama campaign robocall. Google CEO Eric Schmidt was also at the Bilderberg meeting a couple of years ago. Yeah, he's been to all of them since he's been CEO. So I'm going to put this on the Wayne S. Pierce Show. You can go click through the links that are there. Go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, click on the links, and yeah. I'm going to say this, and I know I'm going to piss off some people, but I'm going to say this anyway. Your votes don't count at all, ever. Never have, never will. So don't even go to the polls, because I can tell you this much right now. This election coming up in 2015, 2016, 2017, it is as rigged as the election in I believe it was 1933, when Hitler was in there. It was 1938, I don't remember exactly the year, but Hitler and Hindenburg were battling it out in the political arena, and, well, it came to a tie. So what did Hitler do? What did Mr. Adolf Hitler do? Yeah, he pretty much went around to the opponents and killed them. And the only person that was left was Hindenburg, and, well, you know, we know what happened after that from 1933 to 1945. And scientists, as a side note, scientists have come out and whistleblowers have come out for many years saying that Hitler was alive and moved Argentina with the doctor himself, Mengele. So, yeah. So who do you believe? Well, I believe history. When you look back at the government's involvement in false flag events and in events that change political history of the nations around the world, you can point your finger at one particular group of people, okay, who may or may not have your best interest at heart. And if they do, they're going to ruin it real quick. So the basic understanding of all of this should be you and I matter to one another, and coming together as a group called humanity in our areas and defending ourselves and defending our God-given rights to freedom and liberty, we can come together and work that out. The government is doing government. I don't care if it's Russia, Pakistan, whatever, the United States, doesn't matter. The government, the leaders are minions that are being controlled by world elites. Go to startpage.com, look up Bilderberg. Look up list of attendees. Okay? Those are the people controlling the world. Now, I don't want to, I just, look. I'm not out to cause any type of argument. The truth is out there. There it is. It's in your face. If you don't like it, grab a beer, sit in your chair, and watch ESPN. And the next step in that parade is having your door bashed in by TSA, NSA, and militarized law enforcement, and having your ass thrown into trucks and taken off to FEMA camp somewhere, and your whole family split up and detained indefinitely. Or if you're a political prisoner, having your ass thrown in Guantanamo for the rest of your life. I'm not kidding, folks. It may sound like I'm, frivolous with all this, kind of frivolity and joking. No, I'm not joking, folks. I'm going to put up 2 videos that were on MTV several years ago. 2. From what I understand, there was many more after that. But guess what? Somebody went to the MTV Corporation and went, "No, you're not putting those videos up." I'll find them. I'll put them up on the Wayne S. Spears Show Facebook page for you to take a gander at if you haven't seen them yet. And I'll do a lot more than that. I want you to understand that there's a lot going on in this world. And for you just to ignore it is going to be the worst day you ever had. Okay? Now, regardless of what you believe, regardless of how you function, regardless of what job you have, regardless of what career you have found yourself in, it is all rigged against you. Every last bit of it. Okay? Every last bit of it. I'm going to take a slight little break, be back in a couple of minutes. Don't go away. This is the American Liberty Radio Network. You can email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Be back in just a few minutes. This is the American Liberty Radio Network. The best in independent books, films, and music. Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz promotes and plays original indie music from all around the world. If you've got the internet, you can be heard. Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz.
Eastland Radio Repertory Theater is looking for you. Do you like old-time radio shows? Do you do voiceovers and want to hone your abilities? Have you ever wanted to try your hand at voice acting? Well, you are in luck because Eastland Radio Repertory Theater is casting voice characters for a play currently in pre-production. For more information, contact Eastland Radio Repertory Theater at eastlandradiotheater@usa.com or simply go to their website at eastlandradiotheater.weebly.com.
Up next, it's the Krisanne Hall Show, Liberty's Lobbyist. Go to krisannehall.com. 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 Hey, folks, welcome back. This is the Moon Spirit Show podcast right here for the 30th of March, 2015. How you doing? Hey, we're about ready to get out of here for today, but right after the show, you're gonna hear Liberty's Lobbyist, Krisanne Hall. Check it out, man. It's on you. Anyway, if you want to support the American Liberty Radio Network, you can. You can go to my website, WayneSPierce.com. Yes, it's all right there on the front page right there. You got Bitcoin, you got PayPal, I have a GoFundMe site. You can go help me there too as well. Yes, telling you the truth with the facts, without all the BS. Telling you who's behind the curtain, pushing the buttons and pulling the handles. And telling you that it's all rigged, folks, because it is. It's entirely rigged. There's nothing you can do as far as voting anybody in or out of office, because I'm going to tell you right now, the world elites that control the corporations that control Washington, D.C. have the president of the United States of America in the wings, and he's just going to take up the suit. He's just going to take up the suit at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and that's just the way it's going to be. Yeah, they've already got who's going to be there, and it's not going to be Hillary. So women, just step back. You're not going to get it this time, okay? I don't know who it's going to be. But I can tell you right now, they already have somebody in the wings. They had him in the wings in 2012. I don't even have a clue and cannot even hint at who it may be, and I'm not even going to speculate. But I do know that because of how everything is and what it leads up to and how it works and how it functions and all of that, they already have somebody for 2016. Okay? So it's all there. It's all right there in your face. It's all right there. They're stealing money from your pocket, and then they're telling you that they're going to charge you to use your own money. It's called a bank, folks. Yeah, pretty much. Fractional reserve banking. Go look it up. Startpage.com. Go look it up. It is, that's what it is. That's what it is, folks. It's all rigged. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, even if you disagree with me, the burden of proof is on you. Email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. You can ask me any question you like. No question is off limits. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. It's that simple, folks. It's that simple. Hey, all you people in Pakistan, all you people listening to me in the Netherlands, all you people listening to me in Mexico, hi. You guys are great. You citizens are wonderful. Fantastic. You're human beings. Thank you for being part of humanity. Now, why don't you kick your government's ass? All right? Seriously. You people need to be free and enjoy life instead of having to sit around and worry about who's going to come into your house and take stuff. I don't know. Anyway. As I like to say, and like to end the show right now, you're going to listen to Krisanne Hall, and coming up in just a second. So, liberty is the road, and freedom is the goal. Good night. Talk to you later. This is the American Liberty Radio Network. This is the American Liberty Radio Network. New West Theater, Reno, Nevada is looking for you. If you're an actor or an actress in the Reno, Sparks, Carson City area, please contact New West Theater at newwesttheater@usa.com. New West Theater at usa.com. Go to newwesttheater.weebly.com for more information. Eastland Radio Theater presents Ace in the Hole. The scanners aren't showing anything. I know that ship is out here somewhere. If I was a betting man, I would have to say I would be off this base before your security knew I was even here. If I were you, I wouldn't trust someone with a blaster pointed at their back. Another day, another few thousand credits for me. Not a bad day, if I may say so myself. Not a bad day at all. EastlandRadioTheater.weebly.com. Are you an actor looking for a place to promote your work? Do you do voiceover work and want others to hear what you do? Go to Eastland Entertainment and get your work seen and heard. Eastland Entertainment is your one-stop shop in the Reno, Nevada area for all of your entertainment needs. Eastland Entertainment will promote your work for you. Eastland Entertainment also produces original short films and radio plays through Eastland Radio Films. For more information, contact them at eastlandentertainment@usa.com or go to the Eastland Radio Films website at eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/eastlandfilms. That's eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/eastlandfilms. A Day in the Life. New West Theater, in association with Eastland Radio Theater, presents A Day in the Life. Day in the Life is a series that reveals the very heart of the people and their daily lives. Each person has a story to tell. Each story is a snapshot of what people are going through or have seen at the time. It is truly a day in the life. Up next, it's the Krisanne Hall Show, Liberty's Lobbyist. Go to krisannehall.com. KRISANNEHALL.com. krisannehall.com.
I know you're out there. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.
The Krisanne Hall Show.
Any varmint that crosses that lady's path has met its match.
Rise and shine, liberty-loving patriots. Welcome to the Krisanne Hall Show. So happy to have you here today. I want to remind you, before we get started, that you can go to my website, krisannehall.com, for a limited time and get my ebook, In Defense of Liberty, absolutely free. But if you don't hurry, it's going to go away. Don't you like that? That's how marketing works, right? I want to apologize. I don't know. I have this allergy thing going on, and my nose keeps itching. And so it's very unprofessional on the radio, but you know what? I'm not a professional. I am in Missouri this week, and I'm going to be doing some interviews, and I'm very excited about them. Today, our first interview is going to be with Jamie Stull from the Family Vision Center. Now, why is this important? Because you see, liberty requires self-sufficiency. And self-sufficiency requires that we lose government dependency. And Jamie Stull and his group have done something, I don't know, outside of the box. Outside of the government brainwashed box that we've been living in. And I want to share this interview with you, with Jamie Stull, and let him tell you what it is that he's done. I have with me today Jamie Stull, the Director of Development for the Family Vision Center here in St. Peters, Missouri. And I wanted to do this interview with you because you have a very unique place here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us what the Family Vision Center is and show us why it's so unique and special.
Yeah, we as far as we know, we are a one-of-a-kind ministry. We are a free, full-service Christian lending library, and that's a mouthful. But it is exactly what it says. We are free to the public, we're open to the public, and we're a full-service library just like the public library, but everything that we have in our building, 15,000 items, are items, resources available to the public, written from a Christian point of view. So even if they're not written specifically by a Christian author, we can trust that they have been written from a biblical point of view.
How do people interact with your facility? How does it work?
Just like a public library, a family can come in, they ask for a library card. We have them fill out a very simple application form. We don't ask for proof of residency. Residency doesn't matter to us. We're open to the entire greater St. Louis area. They fill out the application form. We will give them a library card on the spot. And we trust that they say who they are, that they are who they say they are. We trust that they're going to use our resources carefully, and we trust that they're going to return them to us. And the only thing we ever expect from them is to return them on time, and if they have late fees, to pay their late fees. And
so, because it's radio, they don't see what I'm seeing. This is it's a pretty big place.
We have a 12,000 square foot building, and about half of that is dedicated to library space.
So what's the other half dedicated to?
We have classrooms. We have about a 3,200 square foot conference room. We have 3 classrooms. We have a storage room that also doubles as a science lab and an art room because we have classes and events in here throughout the week. Homeschool organizations use our library to offer biology classes, math classes, language classes, you name it. Kids are in here throughout the week using our facilities for all sorts of different things.
You have adults books as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. We have more adult books than we do children's books, actually, and we probably, of the 15,000 resources we have, probably 10,000 are books that are pastoral studies and more aimed at adults, and then about 5,000 are probably children's books.
But you have an amazing homeschool curriculum store here as well.
We do.
How does that work?
We are one of the only homeschool curriculum consignment shops in the Midwest, again, that we know of. There may be some small shops operating in some places, but we're a full-service shop where families can bring in gently used curriculum. We set the prices for the curriculum. We do a 60-40 split with them. They keep 60% of the sale price. We keep 40%. It's good for the family selling it. They make a little bit off of their used curriculum. It's good for the family buying it because they can get good used curriculum at steeply discounted prices. And it's good for us because it's a little bit of cash flow to help the library stay open.
This is an amazing resource for homeschooling parents. I mean, not just from curriculum, but the facilities and their paintings on the walls from very talented young people. I mean, this is a beautiful place.
It really is. And we never planned for it. Our plans were not necessarily to be the homeschooling library, but obviously homeschoolers gravitated towards us because of the resources that we have open. But we do like to make it clear that we're open to the entire public. We're not just the homeschooling library. Right now we have, I don't know how many, probably 100 paintings hanging on the walls of the library that are out there from homeschooling students who attend art classes here on Fridays.
Well, my ministry is called Liberty First. And I was really impressed at the dedication that your place here has to the principles of liberty and educating those principles.
We like to stand with people who, this sounds cliche, but we like to stand with people who stand for something. And there's not enough of that in our culture anymore. People are so easily swayed by whatever the latest thought is, by whatever the latest soundbite is. And we like to stand with ministries who stand for something. So we do stand alongside ministries such as yours who stand for liberty. We stand alongside ministries who stand for creation science and a literal six-day creation. We stand alongside organizations who stand for businessmen being principled Christian businessmen in the workplace. And these are all different sorts of organizations that use our facilities that we work alongside in the community to try to reach the community and quite frankly, to try to influence and grow the kingdom of God.
How do people find out more about this place?
We have a website, thefamilyvision.org. It's really quite a good website. You can tell you all about, you can view our catalog online. The complete catalog is free to anybody to view online. And that's probably the best way for folks to find out about us. For your listeners, anybody that doesn't live in the immediate St. Louis area can take advantage of our library because the library is viewable online. It's also available to them. They can pay a small subscription fee. And based on the level of subscription fee they pay, we will ship items directly to their home. Essentially, the subscription fee pays for shipping to and from their home. And we have families that take advantage of that from Maine to Florida and California to Washington and all over the United States. We had a family at one point that was a military family stationed in Germany that used our library online. So we really try as much as we can to make it available to anybody and everybody.
Now, you guys didn't start off like this.
Oh, no. We started small. We started in a 1,000 square foot storefront with not even one full bookshelf of books. And it has been organic growth, but also growth at God's leading.
How would you encourage other people who would want to start something like you have in their communities?
Well, I would say it is a lot of work and it takes a lot of patience. And anybody who would want to contact us, we are willing to come alongside somebody and tell them what we've done and they can start their own library in their own community. We're willing to come along with the right group who would be able to help us raise the funding and will come in and start the library in a community. Nothing that we do is proprietary. It's a library. You just have to know how to run a library. So we don't have secrets that we need to hold on to, and we're more than happy to help somebody start a library in their own community.
Well, I just want to tell you, I'm really honored that you are considering putting my work into your libraries. That's just, to me, that touches my heart, and I appreciate the way liberty-minded people are able to work together, and I appreciate the fact that one book in this place can touch so many people, and that education is the key to maintaining who we are.
It's true. And that's what our motto, if you will, is faithfully equipping generations. And the way that we equip generations is through positive resources. And it's true that one book can influence hundreds of people, truly.
Our progressive education system has really already seized on that.
There's nothing progressive about our education system.
Well, and it's good, though, because what you're showing people is that they can put the power of education back into the hands of their own community.
Absolutely.
And that's the key to turning all of this refocusing of America around.
Absolutely. I believe it's going to be Christian families who are going to reform education, and they're going to do it because they're going to do it in their homes with their children.
And that's why homeschooling is so important, and why the resources that you have for homeschoolers. I'm excited about the fact that we can get online and have an online relationship with you.
Absolutely.
I have listeners all over the country. I have listeners now. We have just picked up a radio station in Canada. And so you might be getting contact for some people in Canada who have heard this now and are excited about the resources that you have available.
I hope.
Wouldn't that be great?
I love Canada.
Well, again, I want to mention that this is Jamie Stull. He's the Director of Development with the Family Vision, Faithfully Equipping Generations. How awesome is that here in St. Peters, Missouri? Give them your website again and tell them how to get in touch with you. And, just thank you for being with us today.
It is thefamilyvision.org, a very informative website, and we would love for you to have you go on there, check out all of the information that we have, and feel free to contact us via email, call. Our phone numbers are on there. Call us. I'd love to have a conversation with anybody.
Thank you so much for your time, Jamie, and we'll be praying for you.
Thank you.
Think about this. For 10 years, these people have been running a library without any government funding whatsoever. Can you imagine having community libraries? Libraries independent of state and federal funding. Sort of defeats the whole propaganda that if the government doesn't do it, we won't. That's the out of the box that we need. We need to start believing in ourselves. We need to start believing in the ingenuity of Americans again. We need to start believing in the resourcefulness of the people of this country and stop being so government dependent. Government dependency is the death of liberty.
This is the American Liberty Radio Network. Tune in to Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz, Monday through Friday, and listen to Tom Slick and the Morning Brew, playing indie music from around the world. That's The Morning Brew with your host Tom Slick on Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz.
Exposing the lies and revealing who is behind the curtain.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Sharing the truth, one fact at a time, without all the bullshit. The Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast on American Liberty Radio Network on Spreaker.com.
This is the American Liberty Radio Network. New West Theater, Reno, Nevada is looking for you. If you're an actor or an actress in the Reno, Sparks, Carson City area, please contact New West Theater at New West Theater at USA.com. New West Theater at USA.com. Go to newwesttheater.weebly.com for more information. Eastland Radio Theater presents Ace in the Hole. The scanners aren't showing anything. I know that ship is out here somewhere. If I was a betting man, I would have to say I would be off this base before your security knew I was even here. If I were you, I wouldn't trust someone with a blaster pointed at their back. Another day, another few thousand credits for me. Not a bad day, if I may say so myself. Not a bad day at all. EastlandRadioTheater.weebly.com. Are you an actor looking for a place to promote your work? Do you do voiceover work and want others to hear what you do? Go to Eastland Entertainment and get your work seen and heard. Eastland Entertainment is your one-stop shop in the Reno, Nevada area for all of your entertainment needs. Eastland Entertainment will promote your work for you. Eastland Entertainment also produces original short films and radio plays through Eastland Radio Films. For more information, contact them at eastlandentertainment@usa.com or go to the Eastland Radio Films website at eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/eastlandfilms. That's eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/eastlandfilms. A Day in the Life. New West Theater, in association with Eastland Radio Theater, presents A Day in the Life. Day in the Life is a series that reveals the very heart of the people and their daily lives. Each person has a story to tell. Each story is a snapshot of what people are going through or have seen at the time. It is truly a day in the life.
Krisanne Hall Show. She's Liberty's lobbyist.
Liberty breeds liberty. Servitude breeds servitude. Liberty requires personal responsibility. Personal responsibility requires independent thought and self-governance. All these things always lead to greater liberty and less external government, because you have internal government, self-governance. But liberty is not passive. You have to work and think independently to have liberty. You have to be willing to start your own libraries. You have to be willing to have your own fire departments. You have to be willing to have your own schools. You have to be willing to provide your own services. Liberty requires thinking outside the government box. And liberty always breeds liberty. Servitude also breeds servitude. Servitude requires no personal responsibility, no independent thought. Servitude requires no self-governance. When you are a slave, you simply live doing what you are told, regardless of how ridiculous it may be. I'm laughing because my husband and I were at the airport in Chicago waiting for the shuttle bus to pick us up at the car rental place to take us to the airport. And the shuttle bus stopped and let people off. Well, we were there with some other people. We tried to get on. And the shuttle bus driver said, no, you don't get on over here. The bus that will take you to the airport, you board over there, which was about 100 feet down the way. And we thought, okay. And so we all moved 100 feet down, This particular bus driver, after unloading all his passengers, got in the bus and drove 100 feet down and opened the doors and said, "Okay, it's time to get in." Servitude requires no independent thought. When you are a slave, you simply do what you're told regardless how ridiculous it may be. And everybody standing around thought, how ridiculous. His response, I'm just following the rules. Slaves don't have to think about the difference between logical and illogical. They don't even have to think about the difference between right and wrong. When you're a slave, you can blame everyone for your trouble because you've made no decisions to get where you are. Being a slave requires no thought, so the ability to think and act independently atrophies. Servitude breeds a desire for more servitude because, as I used to tell my daughter, don't be lazy-brained. Lazy brains need more and more services and become lazier and lazier and lazier. Servitude breeds a desire for servitude and a fear of liberty. When you have the security blanket of being told what to do every single day and never have to think about that and never even have to contemplate, never even think about consequences, never even have to think about what, where, when, and how, it's scary to have to think again. It's like walking a tightrope with no net and no security rope. But being a slave, you don't have to worry about that because somebody's always there to tell you what to do next. Slaves need more and more government to take the place of the atrophied independent thought and lack of self-governance. That's why government always wants to provide more and more services to their citizens, to encourage servitude and diminish the desire for liberty. To make liberty actually scary, you have to fear those people who want liberty. You have to fear those people who want liberty for you. With every government service, we become more and more enslaved. That is why this Family Vision Center library is so important. Because it's not just a library. It's self-thought, self-governance. It's liberty. And the fundamental principle of this breeds more liberty. Can you think of another service that needs to be provided by the people instead of by the government?
My mama always said I was born for this, and some people wouldn't like that I was different. It never really mattered how hard it would be, cause she filled me with love and the strength to lead. She said,
This is the American Liberty Radio Network. Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz is your home for all the independent music and movies you need. For more information, go to radiorocktheblitz.blogspot.com.
Eastland Radio Repertory Theater is looking for you. Do you like old-time radio shows? Do you do voiceovers and want to hone your abilities? Have you ever wanted to try your hand at voice acting? Well, you are in luck because Eastland Radio Repertory Theater is casting voice characters for a play currently in pre-production. For more information, contact Eastland Radio Repertory Theater at eastlandradiotheater@usa.com or simply go to their website at eastlandradiotheater.weebly.com.
The Krisanne Hall Show. She's Liberty's lobbyist.
You know, it's interesting when you think about it from that perspective, isn't it? Which services do the government provide that could very well be provided by the people? I mean, we would think the library of all things is a necessary government service. I mean, if you don't have the government providing you and funding your library, you're not going to have one. But you see, these people, Mr. Stahl and his group, have proven that wrong. Quite successfully, by the way. But remember, servitude breeds servitude. What about if we think about all the services that used to be provided by the people who are now provided by the government? Schools. Schools used to be local. Schools used to be run by parents. Schools used to be funded by communities. Schools used to be funded in other communities through the charity of people. But you see, when the 501c3 kicked in, we stopped tithing to our churches and instead tithed to the government. So then the government would take care of all these things. People used to take care of the homeless, used to feed people in need. And now we need government food banks and federal subsidies to do these things. Because servitude breeds servitude. What about, here's the big one, hospitals. I find it ironic that the Affordable Care Act is picking on the Christian churches, saying that they have to conform with the government hospitals, that the government that the churches can't be involved in this public activity without being conforming to the government's plan. The irony is, the government is not traditionally the provider of hospitals. The churches. Throughout history, it's been the churches who have created the hospitals. The government is just a modern train of thought. Why? Because servitude breeds servitude. The government slips in with a little bit of funding, and the people stop giving. And so then more funding is needed. And there you have it. Government now assuming a job that used to be held by the people. Not only assuming a job that used to be held by the people, but refusing to recognize its historical origins, and then making us believe that governments have always done hospitals. How else would we ever do hospitals? Because you see, if we don't have the government doing hospitals, we'll never have hospitals, because governments have always done hospitals. No, they haven't. People have always done hospitals. Communities have always done hospitals. There are advancements by people, not by government. The problem is that we got all outraged when the President of the United States said, "You didn't build this." And we're like, yes, we did. We didn't build this. We built this. You didn't build this. Government didn't build this. Government didn't build that. Well, that was in the past, isn't it? I mean, all the examples that we thought of government not building things was a while ago. Because we've been so brainwashed into believing that we need federal funding and government money to do everything. We can't have a successful organization. We can't have a big event. We can't have this, that, or the other unless we get proper grants and funding. How about we start returning back to the principles of self-governance? Liberty breeds liberty, and servitude breeds servitude. It is time that we break free from the chains. It is time for us to cry out, "Give me liberty." And in that light, because yesterday I missed an important anniversary, the anniversary of Patrick Henry's Give me liberty or give me death speech. March 23rd, 1775, St. John's Church, Richmond, Virginia. Let's do that. Let's tell Patrick Henry's story and think about it from a modern perspective. Give me liberty. Mr. President, no man thinks more highly than I do of patriotism, as well as abilities, of the very worthy gentlemen who have just addressed the House. But different men often see the same subject in different lights, and therefore I hope it will not be thought disrespectful to those gentlemen if, entertaining as I do, opinions of a character very opposite to theirs, I shall speak forth my sentiments freely and without reserve. This is no time for ceremony. The question before the House is one of awful moment to this country. For my own part, I consider it as nothing less than a question of freedom or slavery, and in proportion to the magnitude of the subject ought to be the freedom of the debate. It's only in this way that we can hope to arrive at truth and fulfill the great responsibility we hold to God and our country. Should I keep back my opinions at such a time through fear of giving offense? I should consider myself as guilty of treason towards my country and of an act of disloyalty towards the majesty of heaven, which I revere above all earthly kings. Wow, wouldn't it be nice if we could speak our minds and not be afraid of political correctness? He says, Mr. President, it is natural to the man to indulge in the illusions of hope. We are apt to shut our eyes against a painful truth and listen to the song of that siren till she transforms us into beasts. Is this the part of wise men, engaged in a great and arduous struggle for liberty? Are we disposed to be of the number of those having eyes see not, and having ears hear not, the things which so nearly concern their temporal salvation? For my part, whatever anguish of spirit it may cost, I am willing to know the whole truth, to know the worst, and to provide for it. Slavery breeds slavery, he says, and independent thought breeds liberty. He says, I have but one lamp by which my feet are guided, and that is the lamp of experience. I know no way of judging the future but by the past, and judging by the past, I wish to know what there has been in the conduct of the British ministry for the last 10 years, to justify those hopes with which gentlemen have been pleased to solace themselves. And the House? Is it that insidious smile with which our petition has been lately received? Trust it not, sir. It will prove a snare to your feet. Suffer not yourselves to be betrayed with a kiss. Ask yourselves how this gracious reception of our petition comports with these warlike preparations which cover our waters and darken our land, our fleets and armies, necessary to a work of love and reconciliation? Have we shown ourselves so unwilling to be reconciled that force must be called in to win back our love? Let us not deceive ourselves, sir. These are the implements of war and subjugation, the last arguments to which kings resort. I ask, gentlemen, sir, what means this martial array, if its purpose be not to force us into submission? Can gentlemen assign any other possible motive for it? Has Great Britain any enemy in this quarter of the world to call for all this accumulation of navies and armies? No, sir, she has none. They are meant for us. They can be meant for no other. They are sent over to bind and rivet upon us those chains which the British ministry have so long forging. And what have we to oppose to them? Shall we try argument? Sir, we've been trying that argument for the last 10 years. Have we anything new to offer up to the subject? Nothing. We have held the subject up in every light of which it is capable, but it has been all in vain. Shall we resort to entreaty and humble supplication? What terms shall we find which we have not been already exhausted? Let us not, I beseech you, sir, deceive ourselves. Sir, we have done everything that could be done to avert the storm which is now coming on. We have petitioned, we have remonstrated, we have supplicated, we have prostrated ourselves before the throne, and have implored its interposition to arrest the tyrannical hands of the ministry and parliament. Our petitions have been slighted. Our remonstrances have been produced additional violence and insult. Our supplications have been disregarded. We have been spurned with contempt from the foot of the throne. In vain. After these things, may we indulge in the fond hope of peace and reconciliation? There is no longer any room for hope. If we wish to be free, if we mean to preserve inviolate those inestimable privileges for which we have been so long contending, if we mean basely to abandon to the noble struggle in which we have been so long engaged, in which we have pledged ourselves never to abandon until the glorious object of our contest shall be obtained, we must fight. I repeat it, sir, we must fight. An appeal to arms and to the God of hosts is all that is left us. They tell us, sir, that we are weak, unable to cope with so formidable an adversary. But when shall we be stronger? Will it be the next week or the next year? When we are totally disarmed? When a British guard shall be stationed in every house? Shall we gather strength by irresolution and inaction? Shall we acquire the means of effectual resistance by lying supinely on our backs and hugging the delusive phantom of hope until our enemies shall have bound us hand and foot? Sir, we are not weak if we make proper use of those means which the God of nature hath placed in our power. How is that? What is the power we hold? He's saying, we have the power of God in the name of liberty.
The Krisanne Hall Show. She's Liberty's lobbyist.
This is the American Liberty Radio Network. New West Theater, Reno, Nevada is looking for you. If you're an actor or an actress in the Reno, Sparks, Carson City area, please contact New West Theater at newwesttheater@usa.com. New West Theater at usa.com. Go to newwesttheater.weebly.com for more information. Eastland Radio Theater presents Ace in the Hole. The scanners aren't showing anything. I know that ship is out here somewhere. If I was a betting man, I would have to say I would be off this base before your security knew I was even here. If I were you, I wouldn't trust someone with a blaster pointed at their back. Another day, another few thousand credits for me. Not a bad day, if I may say so myself. Not a bad day at all. EastlandRadioTheater.weebly.com. Are you an actor looking for a place to promote your work? Do you do voiceover work and want others to hear what you do? Go to Eastland Entertainment and get your work seen and heard. Eastland Entertainment is your one-stop shop in the Reno, Nevada area for all of your entertainment needs. Eastland Entertainment will promote your work for you. Eastland Entertainment also produces original short films and radio plays through Eastland Radio Films. For more information, contact them at eastlandentertainment@usa.com or go to the Eastland Radio Films website at eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/eastlandfilms. That's eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/eastlandfilms. A Day in the Life. New West Theater, in association with Eastland Radio Theater, presents A Day in the Life. Day in the Life is a series that reveals the very heart of the people and their daily lives. Each person has a story to tell. Each story is a snapshot of what people are going through or have seen at the time. It is truly a day in the life.
Krisanne Hall Show. She's Liberty's lobbyist.
Patrick Henry says, "They tell us, sir, that we are weak, unable to cope with so formidable an adversary. But when shall we be stronger? Will it be the next week or the next year? Will it be when we are totally disarmed and when a British guard shall be stationed in every house? Shall we gather strength by irresolution and inaction? Shall we acquire the means of effectual resistance by lying supinely on our backs and hugging the delusive phantom of hope until our enemies shall have bound us hand and foot? Sir, we are not weak if we make a proper use of those means which the God of nature hath placed in our power. 3 millions of people armed in the holy cause of liberty. And in such a country as that which we possess, are invincible by any force which our enemy can send against us. Besides, sir, we shall not fight our battles alone. There is a just God who presides over the destinies of nations, who will raise up friends to fight our battles for us. The battle, sir, is not to the strong alone. It is to the vigilant, the active, the brave. Besides, sir, we have no election. If we were base enough to desire it, it is now too late to retire from the contest. There is no retreat but in submission and slavery. Our chains are forged. Their clanking may be heard on the plains of Boston. The war is inevitable, and let it come. I repeat it, sir, let it come. It is in vain, sir, to extenuate the matter. Gentlemen may cry, peace, peace. But there is no peace. The war is actually begun. The next gale that sweeps from the north will bring to our ears the clash of resounding arms. Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it that gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear and peace so sweet to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take. But as for me, give me liberty or give me death. Give me liberty or give me death. We want to say, give me public libraries. Give me federal health care. Give me federally supplied houses and federally supplied food and federally supplied cell phones. We want to say, give me bonds and chains. Because that's what Patrick Henry was saying. What is it that we could want? What is it that we're wishing for? What is it that we could possibly want in this life that rises above peace? What is it that rises above liberty? He says, look, all you could ever want is life and peace. But are life and peace so dear to us that we would purchase our life and our peace through chains and slavery? He's like, look, if you don't have liberty, your life is servitude. If you don't have liberty, your peace, perhaps he should have called that national security, we'd have understood a little better. Your peace will become your chains and bonds. Why? Because without liberty, you are a slave. And slavery breeds more slavery. And only liberty breeds more liberty. I know not what course others may take. But as for me and my house, we choose liberty. God bless. See you tomorrow.
We are the light of the world. We gotta light it up now. We came to light it
This is the American Liberty Radio Network. For more information, email us at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com.
Exposing the lies and revealing who is behind the curtain.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Sharing the truth, one fact at a time, without all the bullshit. The Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast on American Liberty Radio Network on Spreaker.com.
The best in independent books, films, and music. Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz promotes and plays original indie music from all around the world. If you've got the internet, you can be heard. Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz.
Eastland Radio Repertoire Theater is looking for you. Do you like old-time radio shows? Do you do voiceovers and want to hone your abilities? Have you ever wanted to try your hand at voice acting? Well, you are in luck because Eastland Radio Repertoire Theater is casting voice characters for a play currently in pre-production. For more information, contact Eastland Radio Repertoire Theater at eastlandradiotheater@usa.com or simply go to their website at eastlandradiotheater.weebly.com.
You are center stage. New West Theater of Reno, Nevada is looking for you. Are you an actor? An actress? Would you like to volunteer? Contact New West Theater at newwesttheater@usa.com. A Day in the Life. New West Theater, in association with Eastland Radio Theater, presents A Day in the Life. Day in the Life is a series that reveals the very heart of the people and their daily lives. Each person has a story to tell. Each story is a snapshot of what people are going through or have seen at the time. It is truly a day in the life. Grab your mug and tune in mornings 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time, Monday through Friday with Tom Slick, and listen to the best in original music from all around the world while bringing you the latest information about what's going on in the indie world of authors and filmmakers and musicians. That's The Morning Brew with your host, Tom Slick, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Only on Radio Rock 92.6, The Blitz. Eastland Radio Theater presents Ace in the Hole. The scanners aren't showing anything. I know that ship is out here somewhere. If I was a betting man, I would have to say I would be off this base before your security knew I was even here. If I were you, I wouldn't trust someone with a blaster pointed at their back. Another day, another few thousand credits for me. Not a bad day, if I may say so myself. Not a bad day at all. EastlandRadioTheater.weebly.com.
Who are these people? And where did they come from? Zombie versus Shark. Zombie versus Shark. .podbean.com. Eastland Radio Theater presents Ace in the Hole.
The scanners aren't showing anything. I know that ship is out here somewhere. If I was a betting man, I would have to say I would be off this base before your security knew I was even here. If I were you, I wouldn't trust someone with a blaster pointed at their back. Another day, another few thousand credits for me. Not a bad day, if I may say so myself. Not a bad day at all. EastlandRadioTheater.weebly.com. For more information about the American Liberty Radio Network, go to WayneSPierce.com. That's WAYNES as in Sam, Pierce, PIERCE.com, WayneSPierce.com. Or email the American Liberty Radio Network at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. That's American Liberty Radio@USA.com.